I could listen to that all night. I really could. Hey, welcome everybody to the Racing for a Cause podcast, special edition because, well, season 2 just ended. Season 3 is around the corner. We're going to talk about that and quite a few other things here tonight. I got Rick Hammond Jr. with me tonight. How's it going, Rick?
Good. How are you, Chris?
Doing okay, doing okay. Um, yeah, like I was saying, just really happy with the way season 2 ended up being. A lot of good racing. 3 different series ran. I know we shortened a couple of schedules because we didn't start them at the same time as late model, but really wanted to kind of end them all at the same time so that we could get the season 3 started all at the same time. Um, so I guess the first thing we're going to start with is we have 3 series sponsor or champions. We're going to talk about them. I'm going to talk about season 3. Going to talk about what we're doing on Facebook. There's going to be a couple of changes there. Going to be a couple of changes as to what series we're running and how we're running them. What else, Rick? Anything else you can think of?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. What we're doing for the summer. I mean, you pretty much nailed it all down, so I think that's going to be good.
All right. So I guess it starts with the hashtag RecRick Street Stock Series. Um, Troy Radford. A hell of a racing finish for him. Hell of a good run for him. Ended up being your champion, and looked pretty good doing it. So again, congratulations to Troy. Uh, Victory was it was a good championship for him.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, he had some hard charges there. It was pretty close between Troy, Andy, and Chris Medford. So, my hats off to Troy. Congratulations, Troy. You are the season 1 Rec Rick Street Stock Series champion. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. We'll go over to the trucks. Um, that was Greenies season 1 trucks, and we had who the heck was the champion over there? We had Philip
Philip Martin. Yep,
Martin was the champion, right?
that is correct.
So again, yeah, I got to know Philip on the truck side quite a bit. Enjoyed racing with him over there. Look forward to racing with him again in the future. But yeah, congratulations to him. Looks like he had a couple of wins in the season, and well deserved.
Yeah, that was one of the series, along with the street stock series, that we cut short a little bit just to wrap everything up at the same time. So, next season or the next time that we do that, which we will get into further, it will be rolling right back in with a 13-week season. This time, it was just something that we wanted to change up a little bit, so everything ended at the same time. So, congrats, Philip. It was fun racing with you in that series, also.
And of course, that leads us right into Wednesday nights. Our late model champion, Ryan Nolan. Uh, Ryan had a really strong season. Um, Oftentimes, it was hard to even see him because he was so far ahead of everybody. But he had a hell of a season. Congratulations to Ryan Nolan for his championship.
Yeah, Ryan's been a great addition to the team, and as you know, he is a local Vermont boy who is living down south. I don't know why somebody would want to do that, but he really put on a good show there with us last season, and it's good to see that we're getting the quality drivers that we're starting to get. So he was a great addition.
Yeah, yeah, it was really cool. So that kind of leads us into our break, which we're on now. Um, for the summer, summer is tough. We've kind of been going back and forth on what should we do, when should we do it, how do you think we should do it. Here's what we settled on, guys. We settled on running our KnN Series Monday night. That's going to be Patrick Smith and Andy Lambert who are going to admin that. That's going to be their baby. And I'll explain a little bit more why I say it that way in a little bit. Late models. Late models are going nowhere. They're going to be back on Wednesday nights, And our original champ, the champ, Steve Baker, is going to be running that one. And that's it for the summer. That's what we're going to run. A lot of guys get busy in the summertime. Um, it's hot. Not a lot of people want to sit in front of their computer for a couple of hours, which I get. So that's what we're going to run.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't come to this conclusion. It was hard for us to come to this conclusion, but we started looking at all the series that we want to run, guys, and there are a ton of series that we want to run. But the summer times with guys who race in the real world, and like Chris said, the heat, the humidity. Not everybody has AC. Even Chris, he has AC, but his house can get pretty warm. Not a time to be sitting in front of a computer when it's 98 degrees and humid in your house and you're trying to cool it off. So we're not going to go anywhere. There's still going to be things happening. Those two main series will be running though. So Monday night KnN and late models on Wednesday. The other days we're going to be putting recruitment races up. We're going to be putting fun races up to keep people active. There will be notice of when that's going to happen. So keep your eye out for that. We're not just counting any other series. This is just what we're doing for the summer months.
Yeah, so a quick rundown of the KnN series. It looks like we're going to be starting that up May 15th. Unless my math is completely wrong, that's a couple of weeks away. So May 15th, we're going to be running the Daytona 75 on the Daytona 2007 Oval. Then we go to Rockingham, Richmond, Atlanta, Darlington, Texas, Bristol. Then we come into the week of the July the 4th week, and we realize that people want to spend time with families, and so do we. So that week is going to be off. We'll come back on July the 10th in the KnN truck or a car for Martinsville, then Talladega, and Charlotte, Dover, Pocono, and Michigan. So there's your 13-week season on the KnN car. I'm telling you what, there's going to be some good racing there.
There's definitely going to be some good racing. I mean, this is one series that I'm really looking forward to. Unfortunately, for season one, it looks like I'm going to be in the broadcast booth with you, which is not a bad thing. It's something that we both want to do to get the series out there. But as this series continues, I mean, what they're doing is they're following old NASCAR rules, points series or points standings system they'll be using, and they're actually pulled off all these races from an old NASCAR schedule. I believe it was back in 1998, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 97. So this is just the first half of it. Second season we'll bring into the other half, and I'm really looking forward to the series. It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't really wait. And we talked about late models, so let me get to those. Late model season 3. We're going to start off on May the 17th at Iowa. Then we're going to go to USA International, Irwindale, Lanier, Five Flags. We're going to be running the bull ring this year. Then Martinsville. Again, that week of July 4th, we're having it off. Come back on July 14th for the late models. Going to Langley. Then South Boston, Thompson, New Smyrna, Stafford, and New Hampshire. So again, it just looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, Steve really picked a lot of good tracks here to run. It is definitely going to be fun, and it's going to be ending right around the same time that we would be getting ready to take our break anyway to start for the fall series. I mean, take a couple weeks off there, Chris, and next thing you know, boom, it's Labor Day weekend, and things start going off. So, racing might still be going for a few folks, but that's when we'll be able to hit it strong.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to myself. So we've already kind of let the cat out of the bag. Rick and I are not going anywhere. We're simply changing the structure of Racing for a Cause a little bit. We decided that honestly it was too much work for just the two of us. We needed a little bit more help, so we started looking at NASCAR and how they do things, and we decided that we would become more of a sanctioning body, him and I. So you have him and I as your sanctioning body of Racing for a Cause. Then you're going to have Pat and Andy as your series admins or series directors. Basically, an admin for the KnN. And Steve is taking up arms with the late model to keep pushing that particular series, which has always been our strong series forward. And it should be fun.
Yep, and then going along with that, we have the Greenaway Motorsports Production Truck Series that will be starting up in the fall, which the series director for that is going to be Rick Greenaway. And then I'm still going to be admitting the Street Stock Series when the fall hits. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to be racing. But the main thing to really learn about this, guys, is there's no more just two or three people that you can go to. There's a little bit of a chain of command now. Obviously, if you're running in a series, the first person that you want to try to talk to is if you're having like an issue with another driver or member, try to talk civil with them first. If you need somebody to moderate and mediate and come in, or you have questions, make sure you're going to your series directors. We're going to have all this information all posted all over the place, so it's clear on how things are going to run. But you got to go to the series directors, and then if things are way out of hand and Chris and I need to step in, then we will. But we're still here. We're not disappearing. We have a lot more help this season. It's going to make things run a lot smoother. It's not putting all the work just on a few people, so it's going to be good.
Right, and with that, actually, Rick, you kind of started down the path of posting stuff everywhere. Why don't you give them the laydown of what we're going to be doing on Facebook?
So, the social media sites, we've hemmed and hawed about what we want to do with this. And we do have a website that hardly anybody used, along with the forums. Last year, we had schedules, rules, everything were posted up onto the website, which a lot of people didn't utilize. So the website now is going away. And what we have done with Facebook, it's gonna be all Facebook based from now on, along with Twitter, Dan Lisa, and our YouTube channel here for broadcasts and podcasts and all that good stuff. But for the Facebook, there's now two pages. One is the official Racing for a Cause page. And what that is, that's the community page at www.facebook.com/racing with no G for a cause. That is the main page that all race info will be posted to throughout the season for every series. You're also going to be able to find it on Twitter, and we'll have links for all this, guys. The Facebook page that we are using right now has now already changed names to the Racing for a Cause Drivers and Fans page. We wanted to keep something available for the members to talk to each other, to set up fun racing, set up practices amongst yourselves, and do kind of cool things like that without having to worry about the community page. Because the problem with it is if you guys go over to our current page now, you post, it shows up there, and everybody can see it. But if an admin posts something and then Chris is typing like crazy, sorry. Um, if somebody, if an admin posts something and then a bunch of members are going with that.
Right, so just a little bit of change there. I think once we kind of get into the season a little bit, and even before actually, because we're going to be doing some fun races, you're going to find that on the Racing for a Cause, anything that we do on the league side. If you guys decide that you want to do a fun race or a recruitment race, have at it, boys. Make sure you post it. Make sure you respect the fact that you're representing Racing for a Cause. You're representing what we do, and try and keep it clean, and obviously try and keep it well moderated.
Yeah, and speaking of rules, we don't have them posted right now. We are working hard on getting that done. That's kind of what Chris and I decided back when we started this league the reason why we do a 13-week season and we take 2 weeks off. That just gives us time to do all the admin stuff. Steve Baker is helping out, Andy, Patrick, Greenie, everybody's helping out to get this stuff out. So just be on the lookout for it. The numbers have all been locked in for the next season. Everything there is good for the people that have commented on to the post that Steve put, and he's working on getting the rules now. So there are going to be some rules. Like if you guys want to do a fun race, we're all for it. We want, our members. If you guys want to throw something up and have fun, great. The only thing we ask though is that if you use the Racing for a Cause name or RFC, that there's going to be some rules with that because you are putting our league out there, and we kind of need to know about what is going on. Admin stuff, again, that's all going to be in the rules. Once those are finalized and finished, we'll get that post up to you. But definitely feel you're more than free to throw up fun racing, recruitment races if you so wish, practices, good stuff like that.
Yeah, that's you'd think rules would be easy. Um, 8 pages, 8 pages of typed out rules. Man, have we grown. Uh, for some of you that don't know, when we first started, there were no rules. It was a fun race. Rick and I threw it up on a Wednesday night and said, okay, let's see what happens. The next thing you know, we have a league. And thank you guys to, especially the people that have been here since day one. There's a few of us still. And thank you for coming on board since then. It's been a real pleasure having everybody on. Yes, there are some arguments. Yes, there are some tiffs. At the end of the day, um, it's been real fun watching. And it's been real fun racing with you guys. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree with that, Chris. I mean, like you said, when we first started, we didn't have a clue what we were doing. I mean, we're race fans. We knew what we wanted to do, and we've learned a lot in what 2 seasons technically that we ran for everything. Starting with obviously late models the first season, and then the second season we added in the trucks and the street stocks along with some other stuff. So, we're trying to make this the best league that we possibly can, for everybody. We're trying to have series for everybody. We need to make sure that rules are in place and they are going to be enforced. I know the last 2 seasons, I'll admit and take a hit on this, myself, as I was one of the admins who was dealing with the late model series. That we were kind of lax on the rules. Well, now we actually have something that's typed up and we've actually put thought into it, not just kind of threw things up. So, 8 pages, it's really quick to skim through. Steve did a really good job with it. So once we get that out to everybody, please definitely take a look at that, because there's no reason for anybody, any driver or member, future, past or present, to come to us and say that they don't understand the rules. And again, we're not doing it to try to be NASCAR or any other league. We're just trying to do this to make the league better for you, and to continue it to be a good league for you as we go forward with all this.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out. Rick Greenaway actually had just posted about 20 minutes ago. Um, if you guys haven't seen iFlags, this is completely off subject, but that's okay. That's what we do. If you haven't seen an iFlag before, Rick Greenaway is making them. They cost him $45 shipped to get yourself an iFlag, and basically what it is, it's having your own personal flagger. So you have green flag, yellow flag, black flag, meatball. All the flags that are in iRacing are in there. And, sometimes when you're racing, it's pretty intense and you may not see that a yellow flag comes out. Well, trust me when I tell you, if you have one of these iFlags, you're going to know that you're under caution. You're going to know that you went green. There's there's no hiding it. It's very, very bright, all LED lights. And I think I know Rick Greenaway well enough to tell you that if he's going to ship you something that costs you money, he's going to back it for you. So just a special little shout out for him. And by the way, Greenie, go ahead and sign me up for one.
Yeah, I mean, I had one there for a little bit. It's not one that Greenie has made, but it's in the same area of what he did with his, and I paid about the same. Um, Paid a little bit more actually, just because the guy had a case that he was actually 3D printing in house himself. 3D printer stuff, as a lot of people know, the printers themselves are not cheap. Getting the plans are not cheap. Um, he does have a video, so definitely get with him if you're interested to see this thing working, because it is nice. I used mine a little bit before I got my VR. Unfortunately, with VR, if you use virtual reality, any kind of headset, it you can have it, but you're not going to see it. But I can tell you, Chris, when I had that thing and I was racing, it was a no-brainer, and it was actually kind of nice because I could actually disable those pop-ups on iRacing. I didn't have to worry about having the flag show up because it was right there, and it just looks cool in the man cave.
Oh, there you go. It is always about looking cool, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right. What else do we have, Rick? Anything?
Trying to, so let's talk about, because I know a lot of questions are going to come out. I know a lot of people are looking forward to Dirt. Um, I know two members exclusively who are really looking into Dirt. Um, we're not forgetting about you guys. We are going to have a Dirt series, more than likely, I believe, and this is kind of Chris's series that he wanted to do. Um, so we're going to wait until the fall when everybody has a little bit more time to race. I know having 5 different nights to race is going to be hard. A lot of you are in other leagues. A lot of you do a lot of things with your family. But fall, winter, that's really when it starts calming down for everybody, and it finds that we have more time to race. And I want to throw out real quick, Chris, kind of like what we're doing and what we talked about with the series directors. If any driver or member of Racing for a Cause wants to host a series, that's how you become a series director. Okay. And to do that, what it basically means, and kind of like what Chris said at the beginning of the podcast, Chris and I are the sanctioning body. We are NASCAR. Just like NASCAR has the modifieds, they have the trucks, they have the Xfinity cars, they have the Cup Series. Those are all our series. And if that's something that somebody wants to do, and you really feel that you want to step up, and I can tell you that there is a lot of work to it. It's not something that you can just throw together. Chris and I can attest to this because we've had a lot of long days and nights. We've done a lot of work to get to the point where we are. But basically, you would have to pay for all your hosted races, which can be anywhere from $1 or 50 cents to $1. And it does get cheaper. I think Chris could probably tell me exactly how much cheaper as you go along. But so you're paying for all the hosting racing, all the practices, recruitment races that you want to do, special events, stuff like that. And you have our backing, you have the use of our team speak. There's a lot of things that would help. So if anybody's interested in that, definitely get with Chris or I, and we can talk, get it approved, and we can move forward with stuff.
Well, the real trick to that now, yeah, we want to run more series. That's fine, guys. We're not asking you to race every night. We know we can't even do that, and I don't want to do that. To be honest with you, I've got kids. I've got a wife. Um, so it really comes down to everybody helping out. If you want to become a series director, like you said, let us know. Hey, we're probably going to say yes. The other thing too on that, um, and I'll go right back to dirt. Listen, I don't know all the rules for dirt. I'm not going to pretend I do. I was going to throw one up blind. If you want to run dirt, get a hold of us. But we also have to work on recruiting people. We can't have the same 20 guys trying to show up 5 nights a week. We already figured out that that does not work. We figured it out this season, trying to run 3. It's great Monday and Tuesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday roll around, there's nobody left. So let's work on recruiting. Um, I think for the next couple of weeks since we're off, I'll probably run a couple of Wednesday night races just so we have that spot sealed up. Um, but it really does come down to recruitment. How much are you willing to put into it? I know how much I am. I know how much Rick is, Steve, Pat, Andy, Greenie. We're doing it. So if you want to do it too, feel free to hit us up, ask us.
Yep, definitely. And it can't be something. It's got to be something that's well thought out too. I mean, you got to set a schedule. You got to make sure that you are able to be there at the schedule because you are an admin of that series. Um, this year or this summer, uh, both Pat and Andy and Steve are going to have me to fall back on for adminning if needed. Um, I mean, there's some dedication that you really have to put into being a series director slash admin. It's not just a title that we easily give away. There's a lot of work to it. If you look at Steve Baker, he has ran 2 seasons with us. This next season, this summer, he is actually not going to be driving in the car. Again, Steve Baker will not be on the track. That's his decision. He wants to make sure that it's admin the way that he wants it. And so there's some times where you might not be able to race. You got to have admins that are ready to help you in those series. So, if it's something that you're interested in, definitely get to us and we'll see what we can do.
All right. So I think with that, man, a lot of information in a short amount of time. That's why I like these podcasts. It's a lot easier than trying to post on Facebook. Um, did we cover everything, Rick?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything, Chris. I mean, if anybody has any questions or anything like that, either, toss a like. It's very important here on YouTube. We want to get the name out. I mean, as Chris and I kind of talked, we're not going to be broadcasted by somebody else in the coming seasons. Chris and I stepped up. We decided that we kind of like doing the broadcast. It's kind of fun. It gives us a little time out of the seat and time to relax, have some fun. We're going to be doing broadcasts of most every series as the fall and winter come along. That's something that we're going to have to look at. I know we have another member or two who are interested in broadcasting, so the people up in the booth might change, but you know the cost of having somebody broadcast is pretty high, and a lot of members stepped up this last season to have races put to a cause of their choice, which was approved by us, and but it still costs us around $200 to do that. And now in house, we all get to see our name up in lights. Still, we need to build racing for a cause. We need to do this together. So send your friends, your family members over to the live stream. Have them subscribe, have them like the videos, and that's just going to help us grow. So,
Yep. So I think I think that's it.
yep, I definitely think we hit pretty much everything that we talked about, Chris. So, here's to another good season that's going to be starting up here in another week and a half or so. 2 week, technically speaking. I guess we just finished last week. It already feels longer. Um, so that's gonna do it. I guess I don't think I have anything else to be honest with you. The podcasts are gonna still happen. Obviously not as frequently now, uh, but we're still here. But if you guys have any questions, either drop a comment here on the podcast, drop it into the Racing for a Cause driver and fan page, drop it into a private message to one of us, and we can try to get you the answers if we didn't answer everything.
Yep. So that have a good night, everybody. I will, like I said, I'm probably going to be hosting one this Wednesday night. So if you're interested, I'll be putting out the information, and we're gonna go from there. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, that's something to be looking forward to, guys. We're going to be hosting some recruitment races slash fun racing, if you want to call it. We need to pull new members in. And so if you have any friends or family that are racing, looking for a good league, direct them our way. Look for the fun races slash recruitment races. Join in with us, uh, and help us get bigger.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.